I kind of get goosebumps. Holy, my God. It just sounds so squashed. I feel like I'm being suffocated by the wall of sound. Welcome back to Lone University. As much of a metalhead as I was growing up, I was never the stoner kind of metalhead, at least musically speaking. But I've stumbled a few steps into it lately here on the channel, hearing Sleep for the very first time not that long ago, followed by Ohm just a few weeks back. Personally, I was always into faster, more technical riffage, and these kind of riffs demand a certain kind of patience I guess I lacked, but some great friends of mine have a band called Holy Witch. I've talked about them on the Sleep video, and after attending so many of their shows, it just kind of clicked with me. However, covering Sleep and Ohm here on the channel resulted in unanimous requests for me to hear Electric Wizard next, so I'm diving in today with the almost 9-minute Funeralopolis, which is from their third studio album Dopethrone, released in the year 2000, with Decibel magazine calling it one of the top 20 stoner rock albums of all time, and Terrorizer declaring it the album of the decade in 2009. Off we go. You can't rush a listen to this. You just have to slow down and get on the wavelength of this riff. Okay. So we're here in B. Okay. Little bluesy. Okay. A little out of 440, so this is going to be one of those songs that's a little tough to play. I think it's a little flat. And, the reason every band arrives into a scenario like that's always really different. A long time ago, it was bands would just tune to the piano in the studio with really no reference point. Like, tuner pedals weren't around forever. So, if they were in tune with themselves, it was good enough. So some bands just don't care, or they just tune to themselves, or maybe it's part of the charm to be intentionally out of 440, like Van Halen did the 432 thing. Nonetheless, playing along with it might be a little tough, but I think it's kind of like a... That being said, I'm just going to say it's here in B. But this other texture here on the right channel, this little clean guitar lead, is not a sound I've come to know really with the stoner rock sound. Blues always has this more playful, whimsical thing. It's going... So that's a cool little... lightens it up a bit, I suppose. Let's keep going. We got 9 minutes. Bass tone is kind of hard to pick out. I think it's a bit cleaner than I would think. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, I thought the whole vibe might be this kind of loungy just in the tempo and the... You could almost feel like if I back up for a second, this main riff here in the guitar, you can almost tell the player's just picking it ever so gently. This is a dynamics thing. He or she isn't digging in. I did see there was Liz Buckingham, not to be confused with Lindsey Buckingham. I read that at first. I was like... Anyway, I think she plays guitar. Can't remember what album I just saw the picture. Nonetheless, it sounds like he or she is not digging in. It's kind of like lighter strokes. You can almost just feel that coming through the speakers. Now we have the dynamics kicking forward to 10, maybe even 11 here. It kicks in with the sound I would expect from stoner metal. The sound I've come to expect. Okay. Here it is. All right, I gotta get creative with the tone again. That almost might be too much in terms of mids. Maybe even less treble than you would think. So I was talking about this concept in the Ohm video, actually, trying to dial in this tone. You almost need to kind of shove the gritty fuzz, overdrive, and distortion to a certain side of the frequency spectrum. Now, you can't really do that. It doesn't really work like that, especially just on an amp like this. You can do that with a studio plugin and like the Saturn or like things like Dark Glass Parallax. You can actually multi-band, apply distortion to different frequencies, and maybe there's a bit of that going on, but I'm just winging it here with some basic EQ, compression, a bass, and an amp. So what I'm going to do is turn the overdrive on pretty thick. This edge knob is sort of like how much or how gritty is the drive. It's almost just like a gradient of an EQ, but I'm really going to pull that back and kind of rely on the bass. So you almost get this. It's not a sharp shrill in the attack. You want like a warmer sort of thing. So I don't know. You just got to kind of play around with whatever overdrive or fuzz or distortion and EQ and just make them blend and come across a certain way. See, it almost sounds like the high end on my bass is a little cleaner and the low end is where that's coming from, but it's just all about how it's perceived when you dial it in tandem, right? So this is kind of the tone I think I arrived at in the Ohm video. All right. Yeah, a little flat. I'm bending the string. Ooh. Wow. I was just sitting here with this face. I think it just sounds so squashed. I feel like I'm being suffocated by the wall of sound. And you're trying to like cut through it all to hear the vocal, which already has like a telephone booth kind of effect on it. Maybe it's overdriven too. The production on here is very visceral. Like it's very, I don't know, it makes you almost uneasy. Like squashed. Whoa. Very creative in that regard. Dad are still living. Oop, doing the wrong note. Really drawn out way to say funeralop. What is Funeralopolis anyway? I don't know. Metropolis made me think of that word. Yeah, the bands I've heard so far, it's all been a little different in the vocal department. You know, the thing I just heard from Ohm was like the vocals were more singular, staying on the same pitch, kind of droning but more clean. This is like it's almost like the vocal is another guitar layer. You could easily find that pitch and kind of scratch along with the main riff and create the same effect, but it's so much more visceral with lyrics tied to it. So I feel like this vocal line is like another instrument. It's got effects on it. It's kind of behaving in the same way the riff is. Pretty cool. Same riff. Down to E, back up to B. They throw that flat, they go one half step down. So, oop. So the main riff's pretty diatonic. Just sliding up and down, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Now they throw in that B flat or the A sharp. It's tense, it's cutting. And at the speed it is, you almost have to take every note and really appreciate it. That's like the patience I lacked. Like it kind of clicked with me going to shows of my friend's band, Holy Witch, and just kind of being there. And you just kind of look around at the crowd, and everybody's just kind of locked in on the riff. Where I go to a prog metal show, it's like a whole different type of thing. Like it's not even the same wavelength. So seeing this kind of music played live was what really clicked for me. Now when I go back and hear it in the studio recording, I like it better live, but I get it now. You have to be patient for those notes. So at this tempo and this groove, when this band has only introduced 5 notes so far to you, as far as the main riff goes, all of a sudden you get this. It's super impactful. It's not glossed over. It's not like it's hang on it right there. So there's like a whole different art form with riff writing here. Here we are. There it is. Do they go up a half step? Oh, I think they do. Maybe it's going. Maybe that? No. Yeah. Going up to C now. So very half step here. Naturally, it's a tense, dissonant kind of sound. Corporate maggots. Glad there's some lyrics here. I wouldn't catch any of this. Man. There it is. Different riff here. Okay, now we're on the second riff of the song here at 5 minutes. It's just a whole different thing. I gotta get used to that. Ooh. Now I like this particular approach to songwriting. It's a kind of different art form where it's all about the repetition, you just hypnotizing into the groove. It's been the same riff for 5 minutes. There's been vocals, there was some guitar leads at the beginning, but largely you're invested in this riff now for 5 minutes. It's not like one riff for 16 bars, we go on to something else. Like we're really banking on this being the whole song. Then the whole rug gets pulled out from under you. Now we go faster, the riff. So it's that contrast that makes you suddenly go, fuck, you start bobbing your head. And I've heard my friends in Holy Witch, some of their songs kind of do that thing. It's this really catchy riff, but then breaks, the guitar comes in, and it's faster. It's a faster riff. You would say it's double time or an entire meter or tempo change. And that hits so much harder because of everything that came before it. Like this riff we've landed on wouldn't hit as hard if I just started the song on it. But it has because all the 5 minutes of this slow. Now we're wherever we are, but you just feel the energy intensify immediately. It's so cool. And it's almost obscured by the. So you're like, what is that? Is it a new riff coming? You're kind of cutting through it. It's just like and then it hits. You're like, I think it's changing. There it is. Cool. Now you're at a tempo where you just start moving. What's cool about it is it's bluesy, like those leads were at the beginning. That was a little bit of foreshadowing there. You know, I'm going to rewind there just for a second because I want to hear it. This stuff. Talking about that F natural they put in there. Okay, you don't think much of it until this riff comes in and they bring that bluesy thing back, but it's in the riff now. It's baked into the riff. Where did it start? I think there's a lower B, maybe a fifth string or some down tuning, so I'm playing it up a little higher, but you get the idea. Cool. So sludgy. What's kind of cool here too is I can't really tell if it's swinging or if it's just so loose that it gives the illusion that it's a swung riff. It's kind of like both. Now there are gradients to swinging rhythms. You can go straight. You can go. Kind of like halfway to it, like. So, you know, you can push that line either way with the longer note and the shorter note. But I think this is so sludgy and obscured by the sound, it's almost ambiguous. It's more obvious at times than others. Ooh, get a little more subdivided. What is that like bass drop thing I'm hearing? It's kind of like, you hear it? Every time the riff starts over? Nope, next time. That. I think it's a drum thing. That. There it is. Something noisy there. It's interesting too, the drum mix. It's so cymbal heavy. You know, you don't feel the punch in the gut from the kick and the snare. Like that's not even the approach or the ideology here. Those things are almost kind of obscured by the high fidelity. I don't mean literally because this has the lo-fi, sludgy, you know, trashy thing, but I'm just saying you hear the whole spectrum of like the bass and guitar, that blend they have. That's more important than the drums cutting through. So I'm almost like cutting through, trying to find like what's the kick pattern, like what's the riff, which was contributing to what I was saying is like the swing is a bit ambiguous on certain little transitions. It's a little loose. And it's because like the snare and kick aren't there to really just spell it out for you. You almost just kind of have to say, who cares? This is just a wash of a certain vibe. It's noisy. This is all like new to me, really. I enjoy this type of music a lot more live still. Maybe seeing this band or another band like this, it would be like a super cool experience. But I think I'm just kind of gleaning how they approach the recording and the songwriting. It's very new to me. Very interesting to analyze in this way. Yeah, those toms are kind of subdued. It's just crash cymbal. Okay, the guitar leads back. Nuclear warheads ready to strike. Wow, what relevant stuff. It's so funny how just, not to get into all that, but, I've just been on this realization so recently, reviewing songs from like the 90s and the 2000s. And I'm like, it's like someone wrote this week, lyrically. It's just crazy how history tends to repeat itself in the worst ways. Nonetheless, what I was going to say here is that it's really cool how the guitar kind of hands the reins back to the vocals, but there's times that the texture of the vocals, which has never been pure or clean, it's super just in the sludge. It sounded like they were in unison for a second. Certain ways the vocals were repeated, some of those notes that were a little fuzzy. Like right here, just to rewind for just a second. Right there, it kind of sounds like the vocals a bit. See, right there for a split second, they kind of sounded like one and the same. So that's kind of what I'm getting at about the vocals just really becoming another literal stringed instrument with heavy fuzz and distortion on it. Now they're at the same time just dueling. Wow. Pissed. Holy shit. I kind of get goosebumps. Holy, my God. Gonna try to catch that riff. Fuck. This feels like a live show, really. Just kind of letting it all just ring out like that. So I think out of the three bands in this vein I've reviewed now, Sleep, Omen, Electric Wizard, I definitely think this was the most bleeding over into a feeling. Like it's visceral, it's uncomfortable. And like I was saying at the very beginning of this 9-minute song, like right out of the gate, it was like, it's like claustrophobic in an audio way. Like the way the bass and the guitar just kind of squeeze the sonic spectrum and the vocals are just, again, you feel like your head's being squeezed. So it sets you up and gets you in the right frame of mind to take in everything that's going to be said at the end. Nuclear war, let's end it all tonight. Fuck, crazy. Yeah, I got goosebumps. It was just such a visceral thing, the way it just kept getting more intense and more intense. But the rate at which the intensity increased was so much faster than the way the intensity increased throughout the whole song. So they kind of slowly pulled you to the end there and then just let it all out. The pacing is so interesting to me. It's unlike normal rock and metal I'm used to hearing. It's not even the same ideology or anything. And I'm always a person that prefers like higher fidelity production. I think it's just my urge to be able to hear what's going on. But this isn't that. This isn't about that. This isn't supposed to be that. This is the feeling it gives you, the singularity of it all. And even just the lack of separation almost from drums. You're just feeling the wash of the cymbals really more than any transient peak you would get from a drum. So all in all, just a completely new thing to me, despite being metal and rock. But again, I have to thank my friends over in Holy Witch. Go look them up. They have great catchy tunes, great riff writers, and it took me seeing their shows a lot and just kind of latching on to the wavelength in the room when everybody's just locked in on that one riff. So again, something I would like to see live. I would prefer it much more live. I think it's more about that experience. But Electric Wizard, who are the obligatory bands to check out next? I think Sleep and Electric Wizard seem to be kind of hailed in the comments as like, the big towering forerunners of the whole thing. But this is such a unique thing for me to analyze. It pulls a whole different side of how I listen to music. So let me know in the comments. But thanks to all of you who've requested Electric Wizard, the track Funeralopolis. 9 minutes, and I don't want to say it was 2 riffs. I think that's reductive. But yeah, the whole riff writing thing was just a real slow burn. And damn, what an ending. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to support the channel further, come find us on Patreon. Everything I do is over there on video. I have bass lessons, music theory lessons. We do live streams now. A great community. You should come hang out with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, click the bell notification. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one.